Hello, and thank you for watching this October 17th weather update brought to you by Agrible, the makers of Morning Farm Report. My name is Eric Snodgrass, and I'm a senior atmospheric scientist and co-founder of Agrible. For the last few days, most of the meteorologists around the country were focused on the incredible weather that the West Coast was experiencing. Fueled by the powerful winds that were well over 200 miles per hour in the jet stream, a powerful West Coast storm took shape and at one point resembled a large fire-breathing dragon on satellite. This satellite image was tweeted out by the National Weather Service in the Bay Area in California and shows what looks like the mouth of a dragon biting down on the Puget Sound near Seattle. Okay, here's a look at what these winds looked like. This image was from Friday, October 14th and shows the 200-plus mile per hour winds feeding vast amounts of moisture into the Washington and Oregon coast. What is truly amazing about this massive storm system is that part of it formed as the remnants of a once powerful typhoon named Songda traversed north and was absorbed into the mid-latitude and westerly wind flow. This animation shows the winds last Saturday swirling just off the coast and battering the coastline with winds well over 60 miles per hour at times, with gusts much, much higher. If it all sounds pretty rare, it kind of is, although the Pacific Northwest is no stranger to these large windstorms. But to add to the rarity, a tornado did form just offshore and brought winds of 130 miles per hour to the coastal town of Manzanita, Oregon. This video shows the tornado just as it came on shore. But even without the tornado, this is what the winds look like along the coast of Oregon and Washington for several days last week. Pretty amazing to see how powerful these windstorms can be along the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Well, unlike the Corn Belt, the West Coast has a distinct summer dry season, but this storm system really ramped things up as fall settles in. This map shows the total accumulated rainfall through Sunday, and we can see that the numbers are going off my scale. Now, my colleague Ryan Maui estimated that over 16 trillion gallons of water were forecast to fall from this event, and that's over 2 trillion gallons more than Hurricane Matthew did last week on the East Coast. Oh, and by the way, it's not done just yet. More rain is actually forecast to fall for the start of this new week. Well, what about the rest of us? There's one simple story for the eastern two-thirds of the country, and that is one of heat. The animation you've been watching here shows you the wind speed and direction on Monday of this week, and I see two things that point to a risk for grass and field fires this week. First, strong southerly winds are spreading over a lot of the freshly harvested fields. If any field debris were to catch fire, it would spread very, very quickly. Secondly, these states in the Great Plains are going to have to deal with downslope winds. You see, these strong westerly winds that flow down the leeward side of the mountains both warm and dry out considerably as they descend the mountain slopes. This process is called adiabatic compression, and it is one of the reasons why the leeward side of the Rocky Mountains are in what we call a rain shadow. You see, as the westerly winds flow across the United States, they rise over the mountains, and most of the moisture is literally squeezed out of the air on the windward side of those mountains. The result is that there's much drier and warmer air that flows down the back slope, which is what we call the front range of the Rocky Mountains. So that's why the western sides of mountains have so much more snow than the eastern sides do, and also why it is so dry in the Intermountain West. Okay, this map here pretty much summarizes Monday and Tuesday as yet another ridge forms in the jet stream, allowing for those strong southerly and westerly winds we saw just a few moments ago. Expect temperatures in the low 80s for most regions along and south of Interstate 80, which puts these temperatures at more than 10 degrees above average, which is what this map here is showing us. However, don't get used to this heat for too long. A cold front that is draped to the south of a large low-pressure system that will take shape over the Great Lakes this week is forecast to pass through the Midwest around midweek, bringing temperatures down quite a bit. And with that front, there will be some rain. Here is the total accumulated rainfall forecast from Sunday evening for the first 3 days of this week. Now, it's not too much, but it might slow down harvest progress for a short while for some folks. But speaking of rain slowing things down, in last week's video we talked about all of the rain that was forecast to fall in Brazil's southern growing regions. Well, here is the Sunday through Thursday morning total accumulated rainfall, and that bullseye over Rio Grande do Sul is over 10 inches of rain. So a high potential for flooding as the tail of a large cold front brings a lot of rain to southern Brazil. Well, as always, we at Agrible will bring you the latest and best weather forecast information through our morning farm report so that you can efficiently plan your operations. We thank you for your attention and hope you look forward to our next weather video update. Thank you.